Hi everybody, this is Pam, and this is my first look at Conan Exiles. I'll be this is just a one-off video. I'll mainly be recording with Ono and Game Edge, and we'll be on a multiplayer server together that is getting set up today. But I wanted to see if I could answer some questions for people who are having trouble with single and co-op settings and getting things set up so that they can play together. So let me see if I can answer your questions, and we'll do just kind of a quick little look around Conan. This is a single player setup. This is also your co-op, so no matter whether you play single player or you're going to co-op with some people, excuse me, you end up on a server of your own making. The one thing about this is that if you set up a server and you're playing and other people come in and play with you and you leave, it'll turn the server off because they are playing on quote-unquote your box. Also, if you want to set up a new game, you will end up deleting your previous game. So just bear that in mind. So we were initially presented with a screen where you get to name your server. So let's call this my server. And then your number of players. And I'm not going to have anybody on here, so you can drop it all the way down to 1. Or put it at some number in case you are going to invite friends on. My best slots in the matter would not be to do too many your first go around until you know what your machine can handle. And then you put a password in. And then you have your admin password, which you can use in game to have admin commands if you want. BattleEye is automatically disabled for your local games. PvP is usually automatically enabled, I think, by default. But I have it just disabled here. I'm not going to be PvP. You have your choice of picking the different levels of your game, whether you're going to play relaxed mode, purist, hardcode, role-playing, experimental. I'm just going to do relaxed right now so we can kind of take it easy. Probably when we play multiplayer, we'll be playing role-playing, but you probably want to go online in the discussion forum and read what the different kinds of community setup are. You then have your server region. I don't know that that necessarily makes any difference single player if you're just going to be playing by yourself. If you're going to be inviting people in to play on your server, then definitely set your region so people know where you are. I am not sure what ownership applies to. I think it applies to the things you build in game, but I'm going to leave that unchecked. Can players damage own structures? Of course they can. How am I going to take things down? Enable sandstorms. I'll leave that turned on. Your clan size, in this case it doesn't matter since I'm just playing with myself, but you'd want to set that for maximum clan size if you were playing with a large group of people and you wanted to control how big each clan could be. And you have a choice on nudity, whether you want to set it so that everyone can be totally nude, partially nude, or no nudity at all. I'm just going to leave it none so y'all don't see me running around naked. Then we set, these are all settings of how things, this is progression, but these are all your server settings and your game settings. So for example, your player XP rate, how fast do you get XP? So you can just move the slider, or I find it easier to type it in. This is very much like if you've set up Arc at all. This is very much like setting up a game INI file for Arc. Now I'm not sure what the XP time multiplier is, but I'm going to boost that up just a little bit. Yeah, I want more for a kill too, if I ever kill anything. For a relaxed game, I was told 2 is a pretty good multiplier on things. Default is 1. So that's it. So the day-night cycle, right now I've been pretty happy with the speed at which I've seen the default run, so we'll just leave that as is, and we'll leave the daytime speed the same thing, nighttime speed, dusk. I am not sure what catch-up time is. We're going to have anyone who wants to post in the comments what some of these things mean to help other players. That would be really great. I did a lot of searching in the discussions, and so far nobody's started a wiki, and nobody's coming up with a lot of explanations for this stuff. So you know, if the community wants to go in and post what you know about these different settings, that would help everybody. Okay, I'm definitely going to boost the health multiplier and the regen multiplier and the stamina model. Stamina multiplier, I'm sorry, stamina multiplier. Now I'm not sure what the cost multiplier is, how much stamina costs. I don't know that I think I'll leave that at default. I definitely want it to regen faster. I am not going to increase the thirst multiplier or the hunger multiplier. Those go quite a lot faster than I like them as it is with default. If anything, I could move that down to 0.5. Actually, I think I will move it down to 0.5. Logged out players remain in the world, like Rust, Sleeper. I don't like that. So I would turn that off on my server. Drop equipment on death, I'm going to say no. And everybody can loot corpses, sure. Player damage multiplier, I'm just going to leave all of, pretty much all of these as is. Let's see, player damage multiplier, player damage taken. Well, let me do a little bit more damage. I'm playing relaxed. And then you have the player damage taken, which would be how much you would take. Minion damage multiplier, I am assuming that's how much they do, and how much they can take. So you could set it to where, if you wanted, they just did default or lower, and then you could come along and go, haha, I'll do more to you. Same thing with the NPCs. Give yourself a little boost there. The NPC health, when you get playing with NPCs, I understand that you can have NPCs as slaves or as your own army. So in that case, you might want to boost your settings so that your NPCs are a little bit stronger. Shield durability, let's make our shields a little bit stronger. thrall wake up time, I'm going to leave that the way it is, and the avatar lifetime I'm going to leave the way it is. And I'm not going to disable our avatars. Okay, now we get into harvesting. I don't think I want the items to spoil faster. I am going to harvest a little bit faster just so things go a little faster. And let's respawn. Let's turn up the respawn rate so things come back a little faster. And I'm just going to not do anything with the land claim. Again, I'm playing single player, so a lot of this may not apply. Crafting cost multiplier, we'll leave that as is. The speed multiplier, let's craft a little faster. We'll leave the structure damage multiplier as it is. I am going to up encumbrance. I have noticed watching other people play that you don't have to carry much to be encumbered, and that makes things difficult. And I'm going to leave the penalty multiplier alone. Chat really doesn't apply, but this is, if you're in game and you're using the in-game chat to talk to other people, this is the distance that people can hear you at and the length of your message. And you can set global. Now they did this really nicely, and I'm really impressed. They have regional access control. So if you're setting up a server, whether it's just off your local box or you go buy one from us or from some other company, hopefully the other company will make this option available in your configuration files. You can go in and say, I want people from China to play, or I don't want them to play, or I want people from Africa to play. Say you're in America, you're in America, and you don't want your internet bogged down. You may want to disable everything but North America. Ping does have a impact on this game, so you may not want people from a region that's a great distance away that would have bad pings coming on and playing on your game. Some people want to have a lot of problems with certain areas of the world producing players who cheat and troll a lot. You can use the access control to close them out. And you can just check the area that you want to allow and uncheck the box if you don't want them coming from that part of the world according to their IP. But if you don't want them coming from that part of the world to your game, just uncheck the box. Now the block country by country codes, you can go in and you can Google this and find the IP country code for specific countries. Now, say you're an Asian player and you want people from your country but not from other Asian countries to play because of ping rates or whatever. You could check Asia and then go in here and type in the country codes that you want to block. So in Asia, for example, you could say, okay, I don't want anybody from China, but I want them from my country playing, and you would block the China country code. In North America, for example, say I didn't want Ono coming on my game, I could block him by putting in the country code for Canada, or for his region of Canada, or for all regions in Canada, and that would block them. So when you've got all of this filled out and you're ready to go, then you just click host and you're brought into the game. Now this may take several minutes, so we'll be back when this is ready. Okay, we're back, and when it says this can take several minutes, believe me, it can take several minutes. and you just have to wait for it to finish. Now we should be coming up to character creation. And your first option in character creation is whether you want to be male or female. Well, in my case, let's be a female. And you're taken to a character, hanging a crucified character, and this is where you're going to create your character. And the first thing you're going to do is pick your race. Now I, again, did a lot of digging around on the internet, and at this early stage I didn't find much out about what races are what and how they apply, so I'm just having to go with what it says in game. Now I don't think picking a race really affects what your character looks like. I've scrolled that much. I scrolled through, and it does look like it changes hairstyles and some features, but not to a great deal, I found. See, some of these look very similar. I think they have just a few presets, and they're reused. I think this is very much like, would be like a Viking or something like that. I would suggest that you take some time and go through each one of these and read what it says. They're pretty detailed. I was looking for something that was going to make me give me a boost up when it came to being I usually play, I guess I should say in games like this, I usually play some kind of a cleric, healer, that sort of thing, and this was the closest I could come to when reading through all these, besides the fact that they're beautiful. So that's what I went for with the race, Vent Hayden. But I would really take some time, look through all of these, and see if you can kind of get from what your reading tells you is going to benefit your character the most from their race. I know race does apply. There are built-in bonuses somewhere along the line for if you pick a fighting class over more of a spiritual class, that sort of thing. And the way to move through this is either clicking on the little dots or doing clicking on the little dots on the little thing up here. I don't know what you'd call it. It's not really a slider, but I guess it is a slider. And religion is next. So the race I picked has 4 options here. Kron is the god who requires no worship. Set is the god of serpents and sacrifice. Yag is the god of cannibals. And Mitra is the god of right and justice. Wow, that just sounds like me, so we'll go with that. Then you get to pick what your voice sounds like.
Are watching.
The gods are watching.
You have a couple of different options.
Cut me down, please.
So I'm going to go with female voice 1. And then you start in on detailed fixtures. Now, on the slider, they have a series of presets, just to make it kind of a choice. You can also randomize through different presets for a head option, and then you don't have to go into details. But if you want to go into details, you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices on faces that you can pick. So I think I like that face. And let's see, for hair color, oh, I forgot my skin color. I want my skin color a little lighter. There we go. Let's see. Now your hair. I'll go with brown. Eyebrows. Let's match them up. There we go. Then you get your different eyebrow shapes up here. So you can start out with kind of a little bit of a random face here that you picked, and then by going into hair, pick a different hair color. Eyebrows, you get you can pick your different color of eyebrows, and you can randomize. You can either go to randomize, or you can pick the shape you want. I want some eyeshadow, and let's see what my lips should look like. There we go. And let's. I can't seem to get. There we go. I put some darker red on. It's really finite. This is like got a stripe down the middle of the lip. That's all the color. Let me see if I put it on black, if it's a little easier to see the differences. That looks like no lip color at all. That's a lot of lip color. That's a little bit of lip color. A little bit more. Down the center. And down the center, but lighter. I am going to go with that, and I'm going to go with the red and see what happens. Now, I immediately jumped to blue eyeshadow, so there's no eyeshadow at all, and I think I like that eyeshadow. Now you can go into your face details and adjust. This is where you can get even more detailed on what your face looks like if you want to take your original choice and create something a little different. You can make the jaw wider or narrower. You can make the chin wider or narrower. For some reason I'm not seeing a lot of change when I use the sliders, so I'm wondering if they're not fully implemented yet. But you can go in here and use your cursor to drag your head around so that you can see different sides. Like if you want to detail your nose out, you may want to turn your head to the side so you can see a profile. And then you've got your mouth and ears and eyes. And that's where you can set your eye color. So I like blue eyes, so I'm going to go with blue eyes. And I think that's all we're setting in face details. Then you have your body features. I like my character to be a little taller, so I'm going to go with height. And physique apparently is grayed out. And so the only thing you can adjust, raffle, on a female character is their bust size. Male developers, what am I going to say? And when you're done, you finalize your character. And apparently I defecated on a statue. I broke the fourth wall, and I destroyed some other property, and therefore I was condemned to death and exiled for crimes, for those crimes. And that's my character setup, and so I push confirmed. Then you'll be taken to a screen that gives you a saying by somebody, and you get a little information. And you were crucified and then saved by what was the hero in the beginning of the opening trailer, or the game opening, I forget what those are called. world is prepared and you are set down. Now, I am sure that there are 110 videos out there of getting started, but I'm just going to take a minute here to show you a quick few things I do when I first come into this game, before even leaving my little starting area here. And that's to look around. Somewhere in the starting area that you get plopped down in is going to be a totem with some information in a letter, and you're going to pick that up so you can get it.
Among the ruins of the past. There are others here, slaves, bandits and cannibals, exiles from lands I've never heard of. Some of them try to scrape a life from the wasteland, scrabbling in the rocks and sand for their own place. I cannot go on. The life that I left behind haunts me. The sun of the glittering spires of Belverus has forever denied me. The smell of my daughter's hair. I will pass the ghost fence, and this cursed land will finally end me. To whoever reads this note, I leave the last of my water and this message. Stranger, you have my pity. You do not know how cursed you truly are.
And you get a level and a skin with some water, the last of his water in it. And there you have started. Now, you did get a level. So there's the scrawled note you got, your water site. I brings up your inventory. And you can level up. You can take you can apply that point somewhere. I usually apply it in encumbrance. It just makes it a little easier for me to carry things. I have another unspent point and I'm going to put it in strength, just for starting out. I'll get a little bit more detailed as things go on. And there's your crafting window. After you get some inventory picked up, you'll learn, and you'll be able to learn more crafting. So, right now, I can craft some clothing, a shrine, no materials, and no building items yet. Now, why is it telling me to level up? I already leveled up. Oh, I forgot to do my learn recipes. So when you click on learn recipes, it gives you the option of spending points in things you can learn to make. And these are like, you know, your starting jobs, skills, whatever. And I'm going to go with survivalist first. Especially if you're playing alone, you really don't have any choice. You need a pick and a torch. The weaver starts out with clothing, of course. You're going to want to go back and get that skill set so you can make clothes at a later date. Same thing with apprentice craftsmen. They're the ones who make hatchets, bedrolls. Well, maybe I want a hatchet instead of a pickaxe. What do I want? You know, maybe this time I'll try apprentice craftsman and see if that helps a little bit. So I'm going to click unlock, and then I have it, and I can close it. Alright, so now to and from there you'll go on. The most important thing is come over here. Also, you're going to be, when you land, you're going to be near a statue. You're going to want to press E and interact here.
boundaries of civilization. Beyond the passage of our highways lie the wild places of the world, where untamed savages make endless war upon each other. You cannot pass into the endless wastes enslaved. Your bonding prevents it. Return. Follow the road. Any road. All roads lead to the city.
So there's your starting information. Follow the road. Well, obviously the road doesn't go that far there, but I did want to show you that you can start interacting with things, picking up rock. Just walk up to it, hit E. You're going to want to collect all this stuff. So you want to get fibers, you want to pick up rock, and you want to pick up branches. And that's basically how you get started. And then from there you can craft things like, I'll be able to do a stone axe. I did a hatchet. Oh, I picked up a level just from walking down here. You'll find sticks on the ground, branches, use E to pick up plant fibers, and your branches, and rocks, and just progress like that. I usually stay around this area, this first little area here where I can see the road, until I've picked up enough items to make a few things. In this case, it would be the hatchet, the stuff that I got from my beginning skills, which would be the hatchet, the bedroll, and the hatchet, the bedroll, and there was one other thing I forget. There you go, more plant fibers. And it's not just one thing you need. I think you need a good bit of, I think you need 5 branches to make a pickaxe, so I don't know what you need for a stone axe. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, that's how you get started, guys. Don't get too far away from the road, because you're going to want to follow the road in to get started in your area and start exploring. Hopefully you're able to get your game set up, set up a server, and I will see you more. We'll be having more gameplay when I catch up with Gameage and Ono and Dread and all of them, and we will see you in more Conan. Thank you.